What's going on, humans? Welcome, my name is Nick from Analog Tabletop, and this is the top 5 board games on Kickstarter. As always, links are in the description, and pledge amounts have been converted to United States dollars. If you haven't yet, please click the subscribe button. Alright, let's get to it.
Welcome to Analog Tabletop.
Number 5.
The creators of Legends of Signum proudly present Dragon Hunters. Join in an epic adventure where 3 daring heroes decide they can take on a dragon. Many have tried, most have failed. Play as a 3 versus 1 player co-op, where one of you takes on the role of the merciless dragon itself. Or face off in a brutal duel and see if fate favours more. Finally, test your wits and mettle in solo mode, where a specially designed Android app controls the dragon's actions. The risks are great, but the rewards are far greater. Dedicated artists committed to honing the finest details, bringing you stunningly designed resin miniatures that are bound to dazzle your wildest imagination. Bravery, tactics, and teamwork will determine the true master of the lair. Now on Kickstarter.
Take the role of a party of hunters or a fire-breathing dragon to defeat your opponent in Dragon Hunters. This is a 2-player asymmetrical war game set in the fantasy world of Signum. The game also includes single-player and 4-player modes. Use cards to gain abilities and gold, then demolish your foes with dice combat. Pledge $99 to get a copy if you are quick enough to get the early bird pledge. The Kickstarter ends September 12th and plans to deliver by December 2019.
Number 4.
Build the town of Stormtrine in Catacombs Cubes. This is a city building game where you build buildings by putting resources of various shapes into 3D patterns. Every building earns you rewards and victory points. The player who helps the city grow the most wins. Pledge $45 to get a copy. The Kickstarter ends September 6th and plans to deliver by May 2020.
Number 3.
Oh, I know this. It's like Nick Fury showing up and being like, Ken.
I have a 16-year-old son who's crazy about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, he could probably beat me. I'm Richard Garfield, game designer, designed the first trading card game, Magic the Gathering.
I'm Ken Jennings. I'm a writer and a 74-time Jeopardy champion.
This game has its roots in the book Brainiac. I was given it for Christmas. I didn't expect much because I didn't know you, but I was blown away by the book.
So Richard reached out to me and said, hey, I loved your book and it inspired me to create a trivia game. Do you want to help me out with it? And it was like the happiest I've ever been in my life. I was like, absolutely, I get to work on a game with Richard Garfield?
It really conveyed Ken's love of trivia and got me to understand what the great gameplay aspects of trivia were.
I take trivia pretty seriously. like it paid for my house. Trivia is my church, And so I was like, oh, is this game actually going to be good? And the game was so fun. And the questions were good too. I was like, I don't think he's a trivia guy, but like the cardware is really good.
One of the ways I wanted to make it so that a lot of people could participate and feel like they were part of the game is you can just guess and you got a 50% chance of being right.
Every card has 3 lies, half truth. We tried to make the lies as convincing as possible. So you're trying to outsmart us on every card. Shall I ask you one of these?
Sure.
Which of these are castles labeled in the Game of Thrones credits? Storm's End, Winterfell, Highgarden, Castamere, Dragonstone, or the Dead Fort? Richard Garfield, I need your answer.
I think they're all real. Given that they're all real, I'd probably go with Winterfell.
Winterfell is correct. Do you want to guess on either of the others?
If I had to guess, if I was way behind, I would guess Storm's End.
It is not Storm's End. That is a lie. That's a half-truth.
The game has been play-tested and evolving for about 13 years.
You remember who won that very first game?
The very first game, Ken won.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Oh, that's good. I actually did not remember.
But the second game he did not. So that was a...
See? This is a trivia game for everyone. Even Ken Jennings can get his butt kicked.
We're using Kickstarter because we think a broad community can really help us perfect this game.
This is going to be a 30-day campaign, which we have gamified. Every week we're going to be announcing new social challenges that you can play along with, and that's going to help us unlock new content, new free stuff for you. After the Kickstarter, we'd love to bring you expansion packs with more trivia.
I'm hoping that we can see an app.
Or a quiz show. Why not a half-truth TV show? I would host. You could be Vanna White. Is that okay? That's amazing. Okay. It's a smart trivia game, so if you feel like you're a trivia genius, you're going to have a good time. But even if you're a newcomer, you're going to be able to hang. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to you all being able to try out Half Truth.
Half Truth has been years in the making, so we're so excited that you're actually finally going to be able to see it and play it and support it. We thank you for supporting our Kickstarter. It's going to be fun.
From the legendary designer Richard Garfield of Magic the Gathering fame, in collaboration with Ken Jennings, the 74-time Jeopardy winner, and the amazing art of Ian O'Toole, who worked on Lisboa, Pipeline, and On Mars, is Half Truth, a trivia party game. This all-star team worked to develop a trivia game for the past 13 years that doesn't make any player feel dumb and evens the playing field. The game has betting mechanics and plays from 3 to 6 players. Pledge $30 to get a copy. The Kickstarter ends September 20th and plans to deliver by December 2019.
Number 2.
Many years ago, the 5 realms descended into chaos. War swept the continent, and thousands of innocent civilians from all sides were forced to abandon their ancestral lands. A large merchant ship carrying refugees through the perilous strait was heavily damaged in a thunderstorm, taking safe harbor on the sandy beaches of present-day Merchant's Cove, the Pearl of the 5 Realms. There is a lot of speculation about how Merchant's Cove came to earn that nickname. I asked some of the local shopkeepers what they think about it.
Aye, Merchant's Cove is a pearl all right. She was formed under pressure from the dirt cast aside by the 5 realms. She now shines brighter than any city on the mainland. Look how she's nestled into the safety of this mountainous oyster shell.
It's the people who live here. Most of those who call this place home are genuine, honest folk. And those who aren't keep to themselves. Usually, at least.
People come for the rare merchandise, but they stay for the illustrious faction halls, the Wizards College, the Bardic Academy, the Warriors Lodge, the Ivory Tower, even the Lair of Shadows. If you're into that sort of thing, low taxes, lax laws, kickbacks from the local merchants, what's not to love?
Could you come back later? The wizard is kind of, busy at the moment. Merchant's Cove is an asymmetric Euro-style game where each player represents a different fantasy merchant. The merchant who is farthest back on the clock performs an action, spending precious hours to do so. As the players proceed through the day, the ships at sea will begin to fill with customers. Once the final customer is placed on a ship, select the market pier for it to dock at. This ship full of customers establishes a demand for the goods you and your rival merchants have been working so hard to make. Spend your days recruiting staff members to put to work, and crafting goods to sell to the customers at the piers. Each merchant creates goods in an entirely different way. Let's visit them and learn a little about each. The alchemist skillfully extracts essences from her decanter, brewing them patiently in cauldrons to be bottled as potent potions or elixirs. The blacksmith loads his forges with coals and metals, keeping masterful control on the heat as he smiths them into masterful weapons and armor. The captain relies on her cursed compass to navigate the rough seas surrounding Merchant's Cove. Ever industrious, she uses her ships to search for treasures and ship's seafood to sell by the seashore. Hey, sorry about that. I think Mr. Gray is ready to see you now. Update, close the door, quickly, now! The space-time continuum is leaked!
Become a merchant trying to make the most money in Merchant's Cove. This is a Euro game, but is asymmetric. Be the alchemist, sea captain, chronomancer, or the blacksmith, each with their own mechanics and playstyle. Fulfill the needs of different customers as they enter the dock from ships. Recruit staff members and have them craft goods to sell. Pledge $79 to get a copy. This Kickstarter ends September 11th and plans to deliver by June 2020.
Honorable mentions.
Before revealing the pick of the week, these are the games that didn't quite make the list. Paragon Trials of the Chosen is a 2-player expandable battle card game that aims at eliminating luck from the equation of card games. Wolves of Mercia is a new take on the social deduction game that doesn't have player elimination and each player has a unique win condition. Evil Dead 2, the board game, is a revival of a previous Kickstarter that failed to fulfill. This one promises to give a copy to everyone that backed the other project as long as they reach their goal. While this game isn't for me, even as a fan of the movie, this act of generosity deserves an honorable mention.
Pick of the week.
An original board game telling the classic tale of founding a new city, Tentacle Town. Recruit new citizens, put them to work, build your new home, only to be attacked by giant tentacles. Blimey. Gather your courage, sharpen your harpoons and steady your aim. Hunting tentacles brings fame, fortune and calamari. Are you ready for high adventure? With your support we can prevail and found Tentacle Town!
Vie to become the mayor of this coastal city while fighting tentacles in Tentacle Town. This is a light gateway game that features action selection, resource management, engine building, and area control mechanics. Use harpoons to kill tentacles to reduce the threat to the city as well as get some calamari. This looks like a great introductory game that has plenty of strategy, but is simple enough for young and new players to grasp while introducing lots of common mechanics. And that is why it's Analog Tabletop's Pick of the Week. Pledge $50 to get a copy. The Kickstarter ends September 10th and plans to deliver by May 2020. And that's it for the top 5 Kickstarters. What was your favorite game this week? Are you going to back any of these projects? Do you think there was a game we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week.